This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, beginning at verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Verse 2. "Take the millstones and grind meal. Unlock thy locks, uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakados Gatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, which appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. This is the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And basically, I'm just getting off work. I changed jobs. Well, the Lord had me basically change jobs because it's a comical story to a degree, showing you how the Most High truly ruleth in the kingdom of man. I lost my job, and I wasn't quite aware of why I lost my job. It was based on something I said, and there's a whole lot of politics and a whole bunch of some people like drama. Brothers is not into drama like that. Brothers, we see enough drama playing out in the world and through the scriptures. Like, I know I'm not one of the brothers that's into drama. We have things that we into, but this life that we live is somewhat like a movie script. Brothers tend to say, this is the Most High's movie. You just you play a part in it. Saying all that to say this, I was pondering something, because the type of job I got, it went through temp service, but I was looking at like within the last couple years, maybe the last, I want to say, it's 2022. So within like the last 4 years, I've had certain jobs that at one point in time, Esau wouldn't have let you been able to acquire as a Jake. I remember certain books I read, they started, the reason why a lot of the unions was started because Jake, before, they had to actually I think it was called How White Folks Got So Rich. Brother basically let me read the book, and I passed it throughout the camp. And it went into like a lot of the programs, a lot of the things that these Edomites put into play so Jake wouldn't, basically, when you really go into certain things, because the main book we read is the scriptures, but it's certain books that you can use to actually prove scripture, and that book, How Did White Folks Get So Rich, is one of them because it shows how, ultimately it's the Most High's will. Like, although, we still thrive, the Esau Edom has set up so many different things to have Jake at the bottom. And that's why a lot of Jake literally be at the bottom, but at the same time showing you our spirit and how we are chosen. With all the things that have been put into play, designed for Jake to be down, Jake still overcome. And that's only because of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's deep. But saying all that to say this, like, the type of job I work in, like at a dairy plant. Well, I'm gonna just say it like that. And, it's a union job. Now, I've had a few union jobs in my time, but I was noticing, like they were saying, when this company was one particular company, it was a Jake that said, "Oh yeah, they will never hire me." But now that it's a different kind of company, yada yada yada, they hiring. Now, when I started this job, you can see all these Edomites, and the guy I'm working with, that I'm training with, his spirit come across differently. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he an Edomite. I think he a Jake, just little shit that he's saying he do. He got a cool, lightweight spirit. And I've been around real Edomites. They do not like Jake. Edomite just can't help. He'll fake it, but he gonna only be able to fake it for so long. So that's why I started with that scripture as far as, come and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon, because this place is being exposed for, the piece of shit place it is. America on the world stage is looking low. It's been brought low. I was listening to the Elder Malcolm, and he was talking about how, you got, who's that, Saudi Arabia, which is supposed to be an ally to Babylon the Great, is making fun of them. And I seen something recently about that. They did a skit with Kamala and Jeezy Beezy, and basically picking fun at him. Elon made them look foolish. They getting caught up with the whole Ukraine thing, with how they had basically laboratories out there, chemical laboratories that they was going to use to make, certain like they was making bioweapons basically. So this place is being exposed, and it's being exposed on these jobs as well. I mean, again, at one point in time, you could not get in these union jobs, and because Babylon is hurting so bad, they opening it up now. What would Esau call Jake? A nigga could get these jobs. I'm seeing the Northern Kingdom from Ephraim working in there and that's not just the first job. I worked at this other job that was a foundry. I remember when I first started the job. And literally, you had these two old school Jakes from down south. I think they was from Alabama. They literally came up north, and now they luckily, they was the first ones to pay the way for Jake to get into this foundry. And when I got in there, I had an actual union job before, but so goofy of a nigga, when I was a nigga art, I messed it up because I'm thinking I'm gonna become Nino Brown but work a job, you know what I mean? And long story short, just a complete folly nigga spirit. But long story short, most people, they basically, I kind of walked away from the job. I was able to do the job, but I kind of walked away from it. But, at that time, that would be unheard. Like, they had really paved the way for something. But, they had to go through a lot of hazing and, like when Esau thought America was great. And now, like I said, when I got in there, they was just giving anybody the job. When you used to lose a union job, it wasn't no getting that job back. But like I said, I'm watching all these different unions. Like this job is a union job, and they talking about, you got guys lightweight just speaking like willy-nilly about that's their fourth time working there. When union jobs do that, that means it's people not trying to work there. You know what I mean? Like, so that's not a sign of, the company doing good. That's a sign of literally they barely don't even have the personnel to run it. Now, I'm glad the fact that the Lord steered me here because, if things go bad again, that's an essential job to a degree because the product that's being moved is something essential. Just like the last couple of jobs I've been fortunate enough, I had essential jobs, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, I don't think it's going to be a whole shutdown again like that, it was the first time. This time, because things are getting so much more detrimental, I think they're going to do, and I'm just speaking as a man, but I think they're going to do something with, or apply much more like force and pressure. Saying all that to say that we are living in some amazing times. So back into the scripture. Well, because basically I'm going into how Babylon is falling. Matter of fact, let me get that. Revelations chapter 18. Salakia. It's kind of cold out here. I didn't expect it to be this cold. This is Revelations 18. I'm going to start at verse 1, Revelations 18 and verse 1. It says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory." Verse 2, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Salakia. It says, "And I have heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, and ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Because this place is no longer great. That's why, and this place is falling, and that's why, what the scriptures say, Babylon the great is falling, and you're seeing that fall. These people really don't see it the way that the brotherhood see it, because of the fact that, these people are, lost in darkness. These people, are carnal individuals. But a spiritual man, a spiritual individual would see it. You got people that, aren't in the truth like that, but recognize some spiritual things, and they can see certain things. I was just talking to a guy, and he was sitting up here talking about, COVID is population control. You got 2/3 Jack that are quick to say some shit like that, but do you understand what that entails? Population control, but for what though? It's not. I mean, it's population control, but it's so much more. I will give Jake this though. Because I asked him, he was like, he had the CV like 2 or 3 times. I was like, well, have you got vaccinated? He said, hell no. So I went into basically was gonna go into some of the science, because I tried to explain to him at the end of the day, this is a new technology. And Jake cut me off and all that, because sometimes when you got some Jake that are worldly, like that nigga that the brother did the video on, when some Jakes are worldly, you can't really tell them nothing. A nigga or this truth is of no value to them. That's why that Jake sitting up there talking about, oh yeah, I look at everything from sales, and they don't know nothing about sales or business, and we are about our Father's business, but our reward is not going to be a reward on this side like that. It tells you basically sell not the truth, roughly paraphrased. You was freely given, so you're supposed to freely give. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you was bought without but basically, you can't carnally sell this, and you've had men that, have tried to do it. Even some men I'm not gonna make a mention of, but that are around today, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be a punishment for that, Carnality is not gonna prosper you when things get, when things get detrimental and serious. It says, verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So, and that's why the elder apostles and the brothers always bringing out about how, we basically suffered, Esau, Edom, who you ignorantly call, or who you people call the so-called white man, he is going to suffer twofold, They talk about manifest destiny. Well, it's manifest destiny as well when, the Most High brings them out of power and basically puts them in subjection. I had, at the end of the day, it talks about in the book of Ezekiel, the end is come, the end is come. The book of Peter talks about the end is nigh or near, And the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, talks about it's better, the end of a thing is better than the beginning. So, at the end, we were speaking on this at camp as far as how, when you look at the Lion King and you had Simba and Scar. When Scar did what he did and ended up getting the kingdom, because of his spirit, the kingdom didn't flourish. It basically crumbled, It's kind of like, that person that has a certain kind of spirit and the Midas touch. I watched a brother, certain brothers where they got a spirit where brothers just want to give to that brother. That's his spirit. That's just like that old story I remember reading as a child, the Midas touch. Everything he touched turned it to gold. Well, you got men that's like that spiritually. Tesla was to a degree like that. He had such a spirit, he was able to create such marvels that are utilized to this day. The government utilizes some of or most of the majority of Tesla's concepts and inventions, But point is, like I said, it made me just ponder. I was thinking, like I said, really meditating, because I was like, wow, the area I worked in, there's a lot of Edomites. And I was just thinking to myself, like, it's funny because, I ain't making that big, and it's funny how they want to give away and make reparations or amends at the end. It talks about how they'll seek to please the poor. I think that's in the book of Job. His children shall seek to please the poor. But it ain't no pleasing, us now. You give a nigga a two-third nigga, or even, a righteous man a job right now, as I'm a convicted felon. So, I've been blessed enough to always have decent jobs, I ain't like I just know McDonald's or nothing, but at the same time, and at this current job, if I work enough, I can make some money. But if I'm not money motivated as far as this carnal piece of paper type shit, brothers in the truth, I've learned this in the truth. I'll be pretty much busy. And if I'm gonna work myself to death, it'll be for the Lord. So that's why I try to maintain doing my videos. I try to maintain being brotherly and going out on the highways and hedges and doing what it takes for the brotherhood. But working a job, trying to work 60 hours a week to see $800, $1,000 a week, that just like ain't really in my spirit. You know what I mean? Like that shit really, because like I said again, you watching the price of goods go up every motherfucking day. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating to a degree, but to a degree, it don't seem like I'm exaggerating. Like things are getting more and more expensive. By the end of the year, who's to say how expensive this shit will be? And a lot of these places is not keeping up with the price of inflation. I just read something recently. They was talking about, the World Bank is going to basically do something to try and check all the inflation and all the different crises with the COVID and whatnot. So, this devil is really scared because, like we out there, making the statements, proclaiming basically, cry out loud, sparing not, Isaiah 58. And this devil hearing that, and that devil is getting nervous. And that's why you got situations like that, what happened in New York. This guy just come out the blue, this old guy come out the blue, and he's super Terminator, huh? Fuck out of here. That's some sloppy Gorney, because like I said, at the end of the day, with all this camera footage, all this video, you ain't got no video of this dude, you know what I mean? Like, come on. And come on, it's some gruesome shit on the web and on TV that they show, So you can't tell me that what's the excuse for not showing any parts of this man doing it? Because if you accusing this man of it, you have to have the evidence, correct? So, saying all that to say this, at the end of the day, this place is falling. No matter if you let Jake into, your enterprises that you at one point called them, those good old boy clubs, some of them jobs. It don't matter because this shit is at the end. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, at the end when everything crumbling, it was funny because Salaki, I was about to end it, but I'm walking past the Amazon hub, and I was thinking, people when Bezos, the owner of Amazon, literally, built these facilities. People up there, oh yeah, that's great, yeah, these jobs, yeah. He bringing all these jobs, hooray, hurrah. But he brought jobs $15 at a time when $15 ain't what $15 was 20 years ago. To the point where you had people literally form a union at Amazon. Like, we need more money than this. The fuck? Like I said again, it's funny to me that at the end, this devil, hoping to keep his system going, he want to open little things up to Jake. Don't fall for it. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, you are a child of the Most High Yahweh. And I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachakutasu Katam. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Until next time, I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Mawatha Lababah, shalom.